Greetings gamers and welcome back to Transport Fever Megatropolis. This is episode 2 and as you can see we've got our charts open. We've just started out, it's 1852 and you can see we're off to a great start already. Our DC loop over here on the right is already making profit. Our line 1 is making profit, which is here. Just a small route within what we're calling M8 for the moment. Our line 2 is making profit and line 3 is almost making profit, and that was the last one I put in, so it's likely that it takes a bit longer. The last of the town lines, that is, of course, because we have line 4 as well, which is the intercity line as we're calling it for the moment, and that goes between 3 of the towns. And we'll be expanding that. As you can see, I've only just put it in, but already there's huge demand for that line. So let's get started. We need to put in some expansion and a load more horses. Okay, let's get going. We're going to expand line 4. That's one of the first things we're going to do, and we're going to get more horses on there, as I said. So let's get on with it. Line 4, we don't need that right now. We can zoom in and we're going to expand up to this quad over here. So let's take a look at our town by the river. We need to put in some bus stops. Later on in this episode I am going to start giving you some clues as to what's going on with this place. Why it looks the way it does, and why we haven't been naming things yet, and why the first loop we've put in is called DC loop. We'll talk about that as well. So for the moment we're going to pop that in there, I think, and just for the sake of it we'll upgrade this bit of road here. So now we can have a little loop for our intercity line. Here, I think we'll probably, let's pop this out here. So we'll come in this way, we'll stop over here, and then we'll come round and back out. So that's where that's going to go. I think that will do for the inner city. We're also going to release a lot more horses because we have huge demand already, as I mentioned. So let's find a depot, and we're using the stagecoach horses with different colors, as I mentioned before. So let's get going. We want, I think, quite a few more. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that should really get everybody quite happy. Boom, on line 4. Let's go. If we watch here we go. Hello horses. Nice. And they're on their way. Next we need to actually expand that line out, as I mentioned. So we are going to go from that makes things rather interesting because the line is there. We're going to have to move that across. So let's pause that for 1 second. We're going to destroy that stop. And we're going to replace it. And hopefully it will move for us automatically. So we're going to replace it here. Yep, it will fit. Excellent. So that, or should we put it here? No, because then we can't come down here. But we're going out. Which way are we going to go out of this town? Yep, we can put it here. Boom. And then after Mill Lane, we are going to go over here. to Main Road, and then North Road, back through Main Road, down here, and then onto Mill Lane again, go back through Queensway. I just realized this didn't go where, when I planned this out, that's not gone where it went last time, but that should do the job. And then back to Kings Road. And then it just happens, I think, that, yep, they're both called Kings Road. That's why they're next to each other here, and it hasn't given the error. They're two different Kings Roads. Okay, that's that in place. So now all our extra horses have somewhere to go. The next thing we're going to do is put our next train line in. And that's going up here. So I think what we're going to do is, if it's something that I've shown you before, then I'll go into time lapse and we can just talk over what's happening on the screen, so you can still see what's going on, but I can give you some updates on what's happening as well. As you can see, we're just putting in the loop, and these curve stations I'm using are the Urban Games ones, as I've mentioned, their curvature mod. I'm finding it a bit restrictive. The curves on it are not that curvy, so I think we're going to swap over to a new train station mod pretty soon. I just wanted to give it a chance and use it at least for part of the game. As you can see, we're just connecting up the loop now. Yeah, with that minimal curvature, it does mean that the loop itself in the track is probably longer than it needs to be. A tighter curve would give me a smaller loop, which would mean obviously the trains get around a bit quicker. For the early start of the game, that's a bit more important than the later game, with the trains being so slow. So that's the loop in now, and we're just popping our signals in. I don't go too crazy with signals. I know that some people insist on having a lot of signals. I don't put too many in. It's just more things for the game to worry about, so it will affect the CPU speed later on in the game. So I'm going to hand you back now to myself, and we'll go back into normal time. Okay, back into normal speed now. Let's decide what trains we're going to put on this. The early Stevenson planet on the DC loop that I set up before is fast growing old, and it's the line has already got more capacity on it than the carriages that train can pull. So I think for this one we're going to step it up a little bit. We've got the Berry, which has a tractive effort of 45 compared to 20. Doesn't go any faster, and the power is slightly more. We've got this one, which is actually cheaper but goes a little faster. The running costs are lower, but the tractive effort is so small. We'll have a problem with that as well, I think, running that. We could jump straight up to the Berry 060, but that's only got a top speed of 20. That's not going to get us very far, although the tractive effort is very good. The Baldwin, we all know and love. We've got a long boiler, 35 miles an hour. We like the look of that, 109, and that is much cheaper than the Baldwin. Stevenson long boiler. We would be jumping through the Stevenson Patente. Someone please tell me how you say that. That's a top speed of 30. I think we'll go with the Patente so we can have a look at it. Let's buy one of those. The costs are also considerably lower. They're just under half price. Just over half price of the next one up. So let's pick that. We need some wagons. I think we'll hang on for the GWRs. We'll go for those a bit later because they last a bit longer. Although actually, yeah, compared to the D1/3, They don't last that long, so let's go with these 6 passengers, same as that one. A little bit more expensive. We'll give it a go. 1, 2. What was the weight compared to 6 tons, 5 tons? They are a bit more, but we're stepping up the train as well. So let's try 6 of those, and we're going to clone that, and we're going to run out of money, and we're going to borrow a little bit more money. Hopefully that's enough to get 3. Yep. Set line 5. And let's switch it back on. Close out some of our windows. Let's go and take a look. Here she comes. Let's switch off our lines for a minute. Let's follow along. So very similar to the other Stevenson. It's a little bit longer, the train part itself. A little less smoke by the looks of it. And off it goes. No passengers yet. So let's jump back into time lapse, and I'm going to put on the city routes so that we can get some vehicles moving around these 3 cities, so that it will bring more people to the station and we can see what's going on. So hang on a minute and I'll be back with you. So we're just going to start with 3 loops, 1 in each city, to get the transport moving a bit. As you can see, I'm linking up there the roads within one city there, and we'll have a circular route going around there. Had a bit more of a problem with this one. I wasn't quite sure where to put the road in, but we managed it in the end, just a small loop back into the city. And we'll add our stops in, and we will put a route in here as well. We can look at how these all work when we go back into normal speed, but this is kind of my approach for now. If you have any comments about this, then please do let me know. Either you think this is the best way to go, I don't want to bore you with things that you've seen before, but if you would like to see more detail of the town, then I can do that as well. Although we will, of course, make sure we have normal speed as well as the time lapse, so that you can see what's going on. I just thought this would probably be a bit boring for you seeing it all again. Slight error on my line there, you may have noticed. Popped it on the wrong line, but we're going to put that back in. We're going to be talking very shortly about what's going on with this map. It is a bit of an odd map, as you may have noticed, and what's going on the map is going to seem even stranger, I can assure you, when we go back to normal speed. I'm going to give you some information and we'll see how quickly you can figure out what exactly is happening within this map. I'm going to hand you back. Thanks. And we're back. So I've set up now a loop on each town here. You can see in this quad. So the red line there, line 6 for the moment, and the orange one, line 7, around what we're going to affectionately call the racetrack. And the last line has been set up, as you can see here, the brown one, not so clear I'm afraid. I can change that later. Small loop, so only 3 on there for that one. And all the horses are off. You see the ones coming in here. Hello horses, don't get run over going across that train track. There's a train coming, be careful. We still have no passengers here. Hopefully the horses will help that. Do we have any passengers down here? Nothing down here either yet. And yes, we have a passenger. It looks like 1 passenger maybe. Yes, 1 passenger waiting. There's only 1 train going around at the moment. I think we should release a second one, except that it's just coming around here, so... Oh, it looks like they're made... Yep, they're all out. I can only see 2. Did I only put 2? Pretty sure we put 3 on here. Ah, yes, 1, 2, 3. Need a bit of spacing. That will, of course, happen over time. So, back to how our original loop's doing. Now, I think it's time we upgrade these trains, but I don't have much money right now, so we may have to hold on for that. Let's have a look at our lines. DC loop is doing quite well. Nice bit of profit there, 288,000. Small fry, I know. In the later game it will be in the millions, of course. So that one's doing okay. Line 1 over here doing okay as well. Yep. Line 2 doing okay, and line 3 is now making profit as well. That's great. Finances over here, just a short line, that one. So we're doing quite well. All our main lines that we put in our first episode are doing quite well. Our intercity line, the intercity coach line, is making a profit, almost making a profit, and that's a big one there. You can see they're all heading out still. I'll need to do a bit of spacing out, but I was hoping that there would be less people waiting by now. What's our frequency? 145 seconds, but we are zipping around. 4-4, and there's still people waiting. Let's have a look down here. He's got another 4 already in there. Yep, lots of people waiting still. Very popular route, this intercity route. We will continue to expand that. So, what's next? Next is we need to let this run on a bit so I can get some money and do some upgrading. So while that's happening, we're going to start doing a bit of naming. So we've got our DC loop. We have our second loop. Our second loop is going to be called... Actually, I'm not going to tell you right now. But what we will do is start naming some of these towns. So we are going to have, in this loop, we are going to have New York City somewhere. Nothing strange about that, you might say. Lots of places, lots of maps have a New York City, I'm sure. So here we go. New York City. Boom. And this will be New York City train station. Okay, New York City is set up. And now things might start to become a little clearer as I name the next city. Let's see if you can figure it out. We're going to name this one, and the name of the city will be Burnin Zana. If you know what that is, I'm sure you've just got roughly where we're going with this. If you don't, it will all become a bit clearer in a minute. If I pronounce that completely wrong, please do let me know in the comments. Burnin Zana. And the last one I'm going to name here, and this will be Doomstat. Doomstat. And we just need to name our stations as well. Burnin Zana. and this will be Doomsday. No, it won't, because that's a vehicle. Let's try and click on our station. Cute. Whoops. We want Doomstat. Doomstat. Station. Okay. Some of you will have got that. For those of you that haven't, I will now name the loop and things will start to become clear. This is the Marvel loop. And we have the DC loop down here. So we've got 2 parts of the quad left. They will be named as well. If you have any suggestions of what those loops should be, please do let me know. But now I think you've got enough information to know how we're going to name these. So we're on the DC loop. So of course we will have Gotham City over here. And we will have Smallville over here. Maybe not with a capital V though. And the last one in this loop for the moment, we will have... Now I was going to add Metropolis itself, but given that the map is called Megatropolis, I thought that might be not such a good idea. So maybe not. What shall we do? I think we could have a Metropolis, couldn't we? Shall we? Yeah. That's Metropolis. Gotham City, Metropolis, and for some reason this one didn't change. Let's do that now. This was Smallville. And this will be Smallville Station, of course. Aha, that's why. Because I named the station before. Good, good. That's done. And this one we need to name the town as well. So this is going to be Metropolis. Metropolis. So we have our DC quad. We have our Marvel quad. There's going to be 2 more quads. They will extend out to these towns as well. So we will be naming those. And if you'd like to help me name those, please leave it in the comments. So this is our DC quad, which includes Metropolis, Gotham City and Smallville. And up here we've got our Marvel quad. So New York City, of course, is in the Marvel universe. Benin-Zanar is the capital city of Wakanda from Black Panther. And Doomstat is... maybe you can tell me because I can't remember. There's the Doomstat in the Marvel universe as well. I'm trying to use obviously Marvel names. I could use any city on planet Earth. They're all in the Marvel universe, just like New York City. But New York does tend to play a huge part within most of the Marvel world. So Doomstat we've got, but we still need to name these ones out here. So if there's any cities you particularly want in the Marvel universe, let me know. Over here we've got 1 more quad over there, 1 more quad down here. I have some ideas which they're going to be. They don't have to be comic worlds. I'm thinking one of these will probably be sci-fi and one will probably be more of a fantasy genre. So let me know what you think in the comments and we can look at your ideas. Hopefully they're better than my ideas and I can use those instead. So there is a backstory and I'm going to give you part of the backstory here. So you were probably thinking that this is planet Earth. It's planet Earth in a different form. So we're in what's called the multiverse, which is a parallel universe or a number of parallel universes that create up the universe. So this is a multiverse, and I will tell you the name of the multiverse at some point when I feel it's needed. But for now, just know that this is not our Earth. This is another Earth, and in this other Earth, you can see there are a number of colliding universes. So that's this is our multiverse that we're playing on. So many things are familiar in this multiverse. They have steam trains just like us. The citizens look just like us. And there's even some familiar cities. But it is not the Earth that we love and know. On that note, I think we'll leave it there. I've been Sparky. You've been great. You'll be even greater if you could please give me a like, a subscribe, and a comment. Let me know what you think. I've done some time-lapse in this and some spoken, and let me know what things you'd like to see in this walkthrough or playthrough. There's a quick look at our money situation. So we spent quite a bit in 1855. We've just come into 1856. So I do need a bit of cash so that I can upgrade the DC loop. We have lots of people waiting for lots of things, so I feel a big amount of upgrading is going to be happening very shortly. Catch you later.